Cable ties. As you will see from the DIY Doctor project on cable ties, I've got a whole page of information there about the number of different types of tie that there are. But the common question we get is, how do I know that I'm feeding the cable tie in the right way around the first time? Now I'm going to ask that. I've only got some very small ones here. This is a bit of an off-the-cuff video, but I'm hoping the camera can zoom in on that to see that this side here is completely flat and in line with the rest of the tie, and this little section that sticks out there that contains the teeth is away from the line of the tie. So if I hold that up, now always the tie itself goes in to the flat side, and as that pulls through, the teeth grip the tie that I've put in. You'll also notice, if I can pull that through a little bit further and ask the camera to zoom in on that, that the back of the tie is facing down the line of the tie that it's going through. Okay, so that's how you put the ties together. Now, quite obviously, you would ordinarily just put, if you'll excuse me leaning over here, you'd obviously put the tail of the tie through the back end so that you have one tie. But what you saw me doing there was joining two ties together, and this is something people don't realise that you can do, is that if you do have rather a large trunk or something that you want to secure a stake to, you can actually join the ties together to create a much bigger one. So there again we have a square of ties, and by pulling on each one of those I can reduce that to the size that I want and distribute the weight accordingly. So ties can actually be joined together as well as to themselves. So that's the most common type of tie. We use it for tidying cables up under desks or whatever, tying cables to another piece of ducting or something, just simply to tidy the place up, stop things flying about. But cable ties have got an awful lot of uses, as you'll see from, as I said, the DIY project page. And one of our favourite, one of the most often used of the cable ties that we use are these little Velcro ones. These are really handy, and they're especially handy for DIYers for power tools, or indeed cables of any kind in a box. I don't know if you're like us, but we've got all sorts of computer leads and other types of bits and bobs lying around, and they really do have a habit. It's just like hose pipes. You've only got to leave them alone for a minute on their own and they're all tied together. I don't know how that works, it's just quite incredible. But just by putting one of these little Velcro straps around, making sure it's the right way round, of course, you can simply tie the cable together just by lapping that on the Velcro, and that'll hold all of you. You can put two on that if you want. And if you look at this, I did this. This is my a skill saw that I use, and it's got a couple of the Velcro ties on. Now, sometimes if you're busy on site or whatever, we don't take all of the toolboxes that these normally go in. We'll put 2 or 3 power tools, a reciprocating saw, a jigsaw or whatever, a skill saw, into a big tool bag and just take the tools themselves without their boxes. That leads to cables getting tangled up for a pastime. And when cables get tangled up or hooked on something else, it puts a strain on the shoulder. So it's a great use of cable ties just to keep your power tool cables together so they don't get hooked up on other things. Very, very useful things. Have a look at the project page. You'll see the loads of different types of tie that you can, and I hope I've given you a couple of ideas here.